Welcome. As a part of this video, we'll understand data processing testing. So far, in our previous videos, we understood how do you test the data which is ingested, how do you test the stored data. Now, it is the stage at which the data is undergoing the processing. The question is, do we really need to test the data which is undergoing the transformation? Of course, yes. So when we talk about the transformations, we are talking about the aggregations, calculations, and enrichment as per the business logic. So as a part of the data processing testing, we'll test whether the transformations are done properly or not, whether the enrichment has happened properly or not. All those aspects should be tested as a part of the data processing testing. If you don't perform the data processing testing, whatever the transformation which are intended to happen, that may or may not happen. That will lead to inconsistencies. So, by performing the data processing testing, we are ensuring accuracy, consistency, and validity of the data transformations, like aggregations, calculations, and all those things. In case the data processed itself is incorrect, it will lead to the incorrect insights. Insights are very important to take the management decisions. So it is very important that we are validating the data processing. In case of data processing, we will do metadata validation, data quality validation, data one-on-one validation, data transformation validation. You may be wondering, in all the stages, where are we getting the metadata validation, data quality validation, data one-on validation? All these checks are important and necessary at each stage. But the difference here is we are doing the metadata validation, data quality validation, data one-on validation on the transform data. Please keep that in mind. Validations are same, but the data on which we are validating is transformed data. Okay. As we are performing the processing validation, we have to validate whether the data is proper or not of the data transformation. In metadata validation, we'll verify whether the transformed data conforms to the expected schema or not. Like the format is right or not, the data type is right or not, structure of the table is fine or not. Okay. In case of data quality validation, will include the data completeness checks, data accuracy check, and also data consistency check. As a part of the data quality validation, in the data processing, it ensures all the expected data records and fields have gone through proper transformation, and if there is any corruption has been done or not, if there is any misrepresentation or not, after all that is being loaded to the target or not. That will be validated as a part of the data quality validation. Now, data one-on-one validation. The question would be, why do we really need to do the data one-on-one validation in case of data transformation validation? That is the question, right? There is a valid question to arise at this point of time. Let us take an example. In a source, assume you have some 1,000 records. This is a hypothetical example in a source, okay? And the transformation happens, then we'll load the data to the target, okay? 1,000 records. My question to you is, do you think all the 1,000 records has to undergo the transformation all the times? Not necessarily, right? Out of 1,000 records, maybe only 200 records may undergo transformation. And it's a hypothetical example. So rest 800 records, whether they are properly loaded from source to target, we need to validate that, right? That is the reason data one-on-one validation is also very important after the transformation. Then of course, the most obvious thing is transformation validation. What are we doing here? We are ensuring that the data transformation and business rules are applied correctly or not. If let us say you have it as a part of the transformation, if you want to change the date format from Indian to US, we'll verify whether this transformation has happened or not. Like various other transformation like aggregation, can be filtering, can be change of the format. All those transformations, whether they happened properly or not, will be validated here. Wonderful then. We understood data processing testing. Thank you.